So, about soundproof blender. In this project, we renovate the blender by replacing the metal blade with steel-like polyimide plastic that is soundproof. We also add plastic that's soundproof to cover the whole blender to absorb the sound from blender.
What key need will you meet? First of all is the type of the blenders. We choose glass as the body of the blender because it contains lots of benefits. It does not discolor or scratch, nor does it absorb food odors like a plastic might. Secondly is soundproof. For common, blenders will pretty much always make noise. Getting a quiet blender is such a great decision, although a little bit pricey than current blender. Next is reduced vibration. Vibration was produced by the motor of the blender itself. So, putting rubber beneath the blender is the way to prevent this happen. The rubber will absorb the vibrations. Lastly is advanced safety. Blenders can be dangerous if we not used properly. We must improve before and after using the blenders. So, for example, the lid can lock while using the blender.
Next, we go to target audience to use soundproof blender. The first one is home users. Either mom, children or maid can use it without disturbing other member and family members. It can be used in the late of night or early morning peacefully. For example, mom with kids can prepare food without worried about their sleep disruption because it reduces noise levels. Office workers. Some of the offices with shared kitchens, break rooms or open office space often prefer a quieter environment. A soundproof blender can be ideal for blending snacks, smoothies or other ingredients without causing excessive noise disruptions. Barista and chef. Coffee shops may choose to use soundproof blenders to provide quieter and more comfort environment among customers. With a soundproof blender, barista and chef allows blend beverages and ingredients without disturbing others around. In addition, there are cafes that are accommodating to students, allowing them to study comfortably without noise. Last but not least, people living in the same neighborhood should have a sense of common sense, especially when they share the living space or area like apartments. They may have noise restrictions. A soundproof blender helps minimize the noise generated during blending and make blending experience more pleasant for the user and those nearby.
Next is, people often experience this problem due to its various reasons. The noise from a blender can cause annoyance or disturbance to those nearby, especially if they are trying to concentrate or have a conversation. It can potentially disturb people in neighboring rooms or houses if the noise is loud enough. Prolonged exposure to the noise from a blender can have negative effects on people's hearing health. The frequency of people experiencing these problems depends on factors such as the design of the quality of the blender, noise insulation, and individual sensitivity to noise. Resonance can occur in blender when the rotation speed of the blades coincides with the natural frequency of the blender components, leading to increased vibration and noise.
How big is the problem for users or customers, for example in unwanted cost? First of all ingredients are difficult to completely crush. The basic goal of preparing a sauce, smoothie or any other blended product is to create a homogeneous mixture. Partially crushed or bigger ingredient particles can disrupt the ideal consistency, resulting in an unpleasant eating or drinking experience. Next is hard to wash. Blenders consist of multiple parts including the pitcher, the lid, blade assembly, and base. This intricate design allows them to blend ingredients efficiently, but creates additional surfaces that require cleaning. The last one is no guarantee for users. There is no guarantee for blender users because it is open source software and its development and updates are dependent on community contributions and efforts.
Okay, next is what will happen if that need is not met. The first point is the noise from the blender will be a disturbance. The noise produced by the blender will be an unwelcome disturbance in the places like homes, cafes, kitchens and office. So it potentially causing inconvenience or disruption to the surrounding environment. Okay, so second point is the blender is still dirty. The blender will remain unclean, indicating that it requires further cleaning or maintenance. So the blender has not been properly cleaned and still dirty. And the third point is user safety will not guaranteed, and lastly, it is difficult to use.
Our unique approach to meeting this need. So the first is advanced vibration isolation. Advanced vibration isolation mechanism to reduce both noise and vibrations generated by the blender. This could involve shock absorbing materials to minimize the transfer of vibrations to the blender's body and surrounding surface. Secondly, enhanced safety features. Integrating advanced safety features like automatic shut-off because it would provide peace of mind. For example, the blender would not be overloading or overheated, which lead to fire. Glass as the body of the blender. Glass is known for non-reactive and resistant to staining, which can be advantageous for blending certain ingredients. Glass containers offer a clear visual and easy to clean. Glass such as borosilicate glass, resistant to heat and withstand cold temperature. Easy for blend ice, for example. Lastly, noise reduction technologies. Minimize blender noise during blending and prioritize a quieter atmosphere.
The next one is what is our solution broadly speaking. Loud blender noise disturb conversation, work and relaxation for home user, office worker, baristas, chef and neighbors. Many options for manual shopping to avoid the disturbance and maintain a peaceful environment, productivity and harmonious relationship. To address the issue of loud blender noise, our proposed solution is to develop a silent blender, the ultimate soundproof blender. This blender incorporates various features to minimize noise and create a peaceful blending experience. Overall, the silent blender offers a practical solution to the problem of loud blender noise, ensuring peaceful blending experience and promoting a more comfortable and enjoyable atmosphere for individuals and those around them.
In this project, there are three technical issues that need to solve. The first one is blade. The steel-like polyimide blades are not sharp than metal blade, causing the food to not completely digested. Number 2 is also blade, but the steel-like polyimide blade are not durable and easy to break when grinding food that is difficult to grind, such as meat and frozen foods. Number 3 and lastly is blender size. When we add the cover to blender, it will require a lot of space when we are using or to keep it in a safe place.
So the conclusion is, even though there are advantages and disadvantages to our project, our team was able to apply rotational mechanics and thermal physics to improve it. As a result, our soundproof blender is very practical for everyone to use because it is not only soundproof but also has blades that do not rust like metal, and it also can withstand high temperatures because high speed rotation of the blade will produce thermal energy. Additionally, the motor's rotation is peaceful, so we don't have to worry about upsetting those people around us. The device we developed has a lot of advantages and is very practical for users. However, the soundproof blender still needs a lot of modifications. This implies that in order to blend food effectively, the sharpness of the steel-like polyamide plastic blades need to be increased. The reason is that the dull blades will also add to the blender's loudness.